Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lava RPC Provider Town Hall. My name is Justina. I am Developer Relations Engineer at Lava Foundation, and today I will be your host. So for the next 45 minutes or so, we are going to hang out together, and I'm very excited about today's session because I have so many updates for you. If you have any issues hearing what I say or seeing my screen, just drop the note in the comments and I will try to fix things. If some of you are new to the Lava RPC Provider Town Hall events, very welcome. It's great that you are spending your Tuesday afternoon with us. The Lava RPC Provider Town Hall events are monthly roundups where we cover all of the latest ecosystem and technical updates, everything that has happened in the ecosystem. And also we dive into topics that are important and relevant, not only to the Lava RPC provider ecosystem, but also, I would say, the entire Lava community. So regardless of your involvement with the Lava community so far, if you just joined the community, or if you're building something with Lava RPC, or if you are a Lava RPC provider, of course, everyone is welcome here. And I'm sure that you will learn something new today. And maybe you will get inspired to become the Lava RPC provider if you are not one just yet. Today, we have a packed agenda. There are a lot of updates that I wanted to share with you, and there will be a lot of information. So if you feel like you missed something, or if I start speaking too fast, or if you want to rewind and rewatch the episode, remember that all of these sessions are always available on the Lava YouTube channel after the event. And you can always find the recordings of the Lava RPC provider town halls and other events that we usually host. And make sure to subscribe to the Lava YouTube channel, because you will get the notifications about all of the live events that we run, and also you will be notified about any new content that we share, because going forward we would love to share more tutorials and more technical content here. So definitely keep an eye on this platform. And last but not least, before we get started, I would really like to make this session as interactive as possible. So you will see the chat option next to the view. So please actively use the chat function. Share your questions, ideas, thoughts throughout the session. We will have a Q&A at the end, so there will be some dedicated time for questions, but don't wait for Q&A to ask your questions. Actually, drop them into the chat as I speak, and if I will see that there is a question that is relevant to what I'm covering at that moment, I will maybe pick up some questions as I go. And definitely at the end, I will make sure that most of the questions that I asked are answered. If we don't have enough time, I will follow up with you after the session and share the answers to the questions on Discord or Telegram. But yeah, I would love to get as much input from you as possible throughout the session, because I don't want to be the only one speaking to you all the time. All right, I think we can get started. So this is the agenda for today. We will start with pools and rewards overview, just to cover what's coming in the next Lava month. Then we will dive into all of the latest technical updates. We had a few governance proposals that went up. I would like to also share some updates on some of the feature implementation work that is happening right now. And also, we are going to have 2 deep dives today on topics that I think, well, I am very excited to cover them, but I think they will also be quite exciting to hear about for the rest of the Lava ecosystem, which is Validators Delegation Program and RPC Node Providers Delegation Program. The Lava Foundation has been working on these 2 programs very hard for the past at least few months, and I'm so excited to share the details and tell you a little bit more about how these programs are going to look like, why we do them in the first place, and what you can expect. And at the end, we will have some time for Q&A, but as I have already mentioned, please drop your questions in the chat, and I will pick them up as I go as well, not only at the very end. Perfect. So to get started, some really exciting stats that I always really like to include. We have passed 150 billion RPC requests that were serviced on all of the leading chains that are supported on Lava Network. It's an incredible milestone. And every time that I do these monthly updates to you, I like to share the overall stats of the network. And I just wanted to give a shout out to all of the RPC providers that are running the nodes, that are servicing the traffic, that are doing an amazing job in providing really great service. And these milestones would not be possible without all of the great work that all of you are doing. So thank you so much. Keep up with the great work. And I'm sure that the next month we have another RPC provider town hall. This number will be much, much, much larger as well. And for all of this work that RPC providers are doing, it is important for us to cover the rewards. And this is what I would like to talk about next. So what's coming in the next month? So for those who are maybe new to Lava network and how things work, one thing that you should know is that every month, and we call it, or I like to call it Lava month, which is between the 17th of one month until the 17th of the next month, there are pools that the Lava Foundation tops up for all of the supported chains that are available on Lava network. And the rewards in those pools are distributed to RPC node providers who are servicing the requests for those chains, depending on how many compute units they service throughout that month, between the 17th of one month until the 17th of another month. And for the upcoming month, which will start on the 17th of November, I'm very excited to share that we will have over 768,000 lava available in rewards across all of the available pools. And another thing that is important to mention here is that Lava Foundation overall is taking a very important and significant work in making sure that the rewards and the funds that go to these specific pools, that they are distributed to the chains where the real usage is. So going forward, Lava Foundation, you will see that we're going to make some adjustments to pool sizes depending on the usage going forward. But overall, really exciting month ahead. This 768,000 lava in today's prices is almost, I think right now it's a little bit over $100,000 for rewards that will be distributed to all of the providers. So quite exciting. And I actually have a table that I can walk you through very quickly to showcase the rewards that will be available for all of the individual chains. So we do have some really big pools for chains like Near, Mainnet, Filecoin as well. Movement, both Mainnet and Testnet have really, really significant reward pools. Hedera, also Union. Union is actually one of the latest chains that we added on the Lava network. And the list of supported chains on Lava is quite long. I think I have all of them here. You will see that for some of the chains, the rewards went from either testnet to mainnet. There are some adjustments there. So for example, Ethereum Sepolia now has 10,000 lava in rewards for the next month. Polygon as well. I wanted to highlight that both mainnet and testnet will have 15,000 lava tokens for rewards, and other chains, for example, Cosmos Hub testnet, Axelar testnet, there will be 1,000 lava tokens in rewards. But overall, we are going to maintain the support for all of these chains, and the amount of rewards in these pools might change depending on the usage and the demand for some of the chains. We will always inform you ahead of time about any kind of upcoming changes. And yeah, very excited about the upcoming month. Another thing that I wanted to mention here is that above focusing on the network efficiency and growth, the Lava Foundation is also focusing on bringing new rewards to the network and also establishing new collaborations with other projects and teams in the Web3 space. One of the things that we are going to do is we are going to apply for Ethereum Foundation Ecosystem Support Program, which is focused on decentralized RPC access for developers and users. And it's a really great opportunity for us to stand out as a decentralized RPC provider and also bring new rewards to the network and foster the collaboration with other projects in the Web3 space. And you, Lava community, can really contribute to that effort. And the best way to do that is by engaging with the social posts that we share on X. And that applies to the posts that, for example, the Ethereum Foundation Ecosystem Support Program would. Same applies to the announcements and posts that Lava Foundation will make. on social platforms, and be active there. Share your comments, share why you like Lava, why do you think Lava is a good project, what contributions it makes to the overall infrastructure, data infrastructure. And those kind of efforts and community activity is extremely important, and it contributes strongly to the outcomes of these kind of applications, and also collaborations that we might have with other projects. So yeah, be engaged on social media, on Lava posts and other posts that we're going to share. Speaking of rewards and chains, there is another update that I wanted to share, is that there will be no more rewards for the Starknet testnet after the 17th of November. The reason for that is because we have been collaborating with the Starknet Foundation for a long time, and they have made the decision to put all of the emphasis and rewards towards the public RPC for the Starknet mainnet. And for that reason, the rewards will, of course, be available for the Starknet mainnet going forward, but there will be no rewards for the Starknet testnet anymore. So something to keep in mind if you are supporting the Starknet testnet right now. Okay. So those were the updates for the pools and the rewards. You don't have to memorize any of these details that I shared with you, because as always, I will share the summary in a written format with all of you before the 17th of the month. So I will send the list of all of the top-ups with the actual amounts that will go into every single pool, and the details about all of that. So definitely be on a lookout for more updates from my side regarding that. And now I think we can move on to the tech updates. I have a few technical updates to share. We will start with the proposals that we just had. So one of them that I believe just passed yesterday is a proposal number 57 on Lava mainnet, which updated that Starknet specification. And the key changes there that we introduced are that we removed the support for node versions, version 5, version 6, and version 7, and added support for a new node version, specifically version 9. And what that means to the RPC providers: if you are running the RPC node for Starknet, just make sure that you update your node, because you have to pass the new verification for version 9. So double check that, because if there are some issues, you might see that information on the info page that you have to update, and your provider will probably not operate properly. And if you have any problems updating your provider, just drop the details and any kind of errors that you see either on Discord or Telegram, and we will definitely help you out with fixing anything that is maybe preventing your provider from operating properly. Another proposal that just went out, I think it was submitted probably an hour ago, 1 or 2 hours ago, is proposal number 58 on the Lava mainnet. And this proposal is meant to update the Binance Smart Chain specification. It's a very small change, shouldn't really affect provider operations too much. It's mostly focused on updating the block time following the chain update that was made. So in about 4 days, the proposal should pass. One call out, of course, for all of the validators to vote on the proposals that are up. So currently this proposal is in the voting period. So would be great to see you participating in the governance process for this proposal. Another small change that will happen likely next week, and this is something that came up just right before we started the town hall, is that we will likely have another proposal on Tuesday next week, and that will require all of the Lava providers to run the new Lava P version. I will share the details of what will be changing, what will be the impact, and what action you have to follow for the upgrade. But currently, the ETA for the proposal is Tuesday next week. And before that date, I will share more details with you. You will definitely see details on that from me on Discord and Telegram as well in the following days. And now I wanted to also include some of the updates on some of the features that our team has been working on, and keep you in the loop on the status of these features, because we covered some of them in the previous town hall, and those features and implementations are extremely important and were highly requested by our providers and other contributors. So just to walk them through. If you want to get more details about these features, what do they mean, and what are they supposed to improve, I would highly recommend you watching the previous town hall, because this is where we actually went into more detail what these features are. So now I will just cover them on a high level. So the first feature is moving stake locking period, which is basically meant to prevent providers from moving their self-stake very quickly from one chain to another in a very short periods of time. And this feature is currently in a testing stage. I believe it's one of the final testing stages. And after that, we are going to prepare the on-chain proposal. And this probably will happen quite soon. Another improvement that our team is working on is memory leak issue, which was reported to us by quite a few RPC node providers. Specifically, we see this issue happening for the Lava mainnet nodes, especially the archival nodes. When there are big spikes in traffic, these nodes take up a lot of memory. So this work is still in progress. It's quite challenging problem to tackle, because it takes time to reproduce and really understand the root cause of the problem. The team is working on quite a few improvements there, but everything is still in progress. So here, what I would really appreciate, if there are more providers who are facing similar issue, please don't hesitate to send the details to me on Discord or Telegram or any other Lava Foundation team member. It doesn't have to always be me, but I will definitely make sure that feedback that you share with me goes to the team directly. And any kind of additional insight into what is happening under the hood is extremely helpful to tackle issues like that. And the last update that I wanted to give you on is the provider scoring mechanism updates. So this is all about improving the provider scoring mechanism that is used to pick provider for servicing the traffic. And the key objective for this improvement is to balance out and technically reduce the impact that provider stake has on the pairing mechanism, and favor the quality of the provider much more than the stake. So same thing here. Is quite a big work, quite a big change. But the team is very actively working on this improvement, and very soon I will actually start sharing the details with you on what the implementation looks like, what will change, and I will definitely ask for input and feedback from all of you. So you will definitely get some written up details about it. Maybe we will do another town hall specifically for these changes, so that you can understand all of the details and what will change. So definitely keep an eye on announcements about that as well. All right, those were the core technical updates. I also checking the chat. Okay, just a reminder, if you have any questions or you would like to learn more about something specifically, just drop your questions in the chat and I will pick them up as we go. Now, I would like to dive into the big topics of today. And we will start off the validators delegation program. Again, it was something that I was really looking forward to share more details about, and I got questions from our community about programs like this. So very excited to be actually talking about that now. So one of the key things that Lava Foundation is focused on right now is ensuring the sustainable network growth, enhance efficiency and performance. And the overall goal that we are all working towards is to make Lava the best RPC provider in the space. And there are lots of different things of what we do to get to that point. One is through making improvements to how the protocol operates and things like that. Then there is very important role that providers play, and we will talk about providers in just a little bit. But then there is also a very important role that validators play in that space as well. And to achieve all of these objectives that and goals that the Lava Foundation has, the Lava Foundation created the Validator Delegation Program, which is specifically aimed at optimizing for the best performing validators, ensuring the governance security, also improving the transparency and making it very clear and easy to understand for why specific validators get the delegation and what validators have to do to potentially have a bigger delegation or to get the delegation in the first place. So the new Lava Validators Delegation Program is aimed at strengthening the best performing validators and also supporting contributors who have made very essential and significant contributions to the Lava network over time. Currently, the Lava Foundation is finalizing all of the last details of this program. The estimated time for when we plan to roll out this program is the week of the November 19th. Until then, we will share even more details about the program. But today, I would just like to walk you through the program, cover the details as much as I can, so that you can understand what you can expect. And then after that, we will have even more deep dives into all of the details of the program and how it's going to look like. Overall, the Validator Delegation Program will be twofold program. Again, the Lava Foundation really wants to focus on two things here. One is to make sure that we delegate to the best performing validators who are very significantly contributing to the security of the network, the governance processes of the network, and things like that. So the first sub-program of this entire delegation program will be performance-based and will be open to every single existing and new validator who are in the active set. And then the second part of this delegation program will be contribution-based. With this sub-program, Lava Foundation wants to delegate to validators who are also making very significant contributions to the network by either contributing tooling or technical support or other ways to establish strong infrastructure collaborations and partnerships. I will talk more about all of these details in a few minutes. But yeah, there will be two sub-programs and one will be separate from another or independent from another. So now I would like to focus on the first one, performance-based delegation program. So performance-based validators delegation program will distribute 120 million Lava tokens across top 25 performing validators. This program will be enabled by Lava network contributor Polly. Huge shout out to the Polly team. They have been contributing to Lava and helping us out with this program for quite some time. And they built a system which now allows us to track and monitor the performance of each individual validator and dynamically measure their performance and do all of that on daily basis and even on hourly basis. I believe we can get all of the details about the actual validator's performance. And the key idea of this validators delegation program is that the top 25 performing validators will get the delegation of the 120 million lava delegation pool. But those delegations will be redelegated live, meaning that we always want to make sure that delegations go to the best performing validators. So this means that if a specific validator drops in their performance, or there are new validators that improve their performance significantly, they can either be included in the top 25 or lose the spot in top 25. But this monitoring of the performance metrics and redelegation will be happening live. Basically, I think every hour there might be some changes in the amounts of the delegation that specific validators have, or who has the delegation based on the performance. There are some things that we, of course, have to take into the consideration when it comes to unbonding period. But overall, the metrics and performance of the validators will be constantly measured and updated, so that we always delegate to the best performing validators. And once again, I want to emphasize that this program is open to all validators that are currently in the active set. So this means that when we roll out this program, if your validator, for example, didn't get any delegation, or maybe they get a smaller amount that you would like to, you can always work on improving your validator's performance, and later on your delegation amount might be updated, or if you didn't get any delegation in the first place, you might be included in the top 25 best performing validators. I have been mentioning performance and metrics and things like that quite a few times. So I would like to give a little bit more insight. What do I actually mean by performance metrics and validator performance? So when we roll out the delegation program, we will start with looking at two key performance metrics. One of them is availability, so checking if the validator is operational in the first place. For example, if your validator gets jailed, then of course your validator is not operational and you will not get very high score for that. And second part of the performance metrics will be related to block signing, so checking how many blocks in a specific given time your validator actually signs. So we want to get the score for your validator's downtime ratio. These are the metrics that we will start with. It is very likely, and I should say expected, that this program will evolve. And for future iterations, we are looking to add more metrics that would best reflect the actual validator's performance. And very likely, we will add metrics like block production compliance. So for example, all of the configurations of your validator for block production, and also governance participation. I mentioned that we had quite a few governance proposals, so I think in the future it's likely that we will look at how validators get involved in the governance processes as well. But yeah, to keep things simple, we will start with these two metrics and improve over time. Now, how much will be distributed? I mentioned that there will be top 25 validators that at any moment will have delegations. The amount of delegation for each provider who make it to the top 25 list will depend on their performance rank. So after evaluating how the validator performs in a given time, the system will create a list of validators based on their performance and will rank them from the best one to the last one in the top 25. And I would like to actually even show you the table that will give you an insight into how much each validator will get. So you can see that the validator that is in the first place, the best performing validator, will get 7.1 million lava. Second will get 6.91, and with these small amounts, the delegation amount will decrease the lower your rank is. And if I scroll to the very bottom, you should see that the validator who is in the rank number 25 will be delegated 2.5 million lava. These details with the calculations, how all of the scores are calculated, how ranks are calculated, and everything will be shared with you. As I said, we will follow up with more details about all of this, and you will actually see how everything works under the hood. And another thing that I wanted to mention here is that Poly will make it very easy to see how the ranking looks like and so on. So we will be able to share a little bit more details about what is specific validators rank and things like that. So you can definitely expect more insight and more details on that going forward. So yeah, I think this was my... I almost forgot. There is another very important part of the validators delegation program, which is contribution-based validators delegation program. So as I have mentioned previously, in addition to delegating to the best performing validators, Lava Foundation also wants to delegate to validators who not only run a validator, but also contribute to the network in a very meaningful way. So this part of the program will be aimed exactly at that. 47.75 million lava will be distributed to key network contributors and infrastructure partners. Those partners either help us with securing the network or build very important tools, for example, explorers, other tooling, provide important technical support. So there is a group of people that will be included in this program, and each contributor, based on their contributions, will get specific amount in terms of the delegation from this 47.75 million lava tokens delegation pool. And another important thing to mention here is that validators who will be included in the contribution-based delegation program will also be able to participate in performance-based validators delegation program, which means that as long as you make sure that your validator runs at the highest standard and really performs well, it is likely that you might be included in the validators delegation program as well, and get the additional delegation for the performance beyond your contributions. So yeah, that was the last thing that I wanted to mention about the validators delegation program. Just to rewind, the details about all of the calculations, about all of the metrics, and all of the insight will follow. We are going to reach out to the validators, explain all of the details. We are planning to publish the blog post covering everything that we would like to communicate about this program and why we are doing this. And the ETA for this program currently is the week of 19th of November. And until that week, you can expect quite a lot of communication from our end. We want to make sure that everyone in our ecosystem can really understand why we're doing this, what is the goal, what we're trying to incentivize with this program, and also to make sure that everyone understands the details of how we are going to carry out the delegation and how it's going to work. Okay. So now we are going to talk about the providers, because that's another very important part. So in addition to the validator delegation program, we are preparing the Lava RPC provider delegation program. So the same core goal that we have applies here. We want to make Lava the best RPC provider out there. And we want to make sure that RPC node providers are enabled and empowered to strive for the best quality of service that they can provide through their nodes. And we want to delegate to the best performing providers out there. And this is what the upcoming Lava RPC node provider delegation will be all about. It will be about delegating to the best performing RPC node providers out there and fostering that need for ensuring the best quality of service all across the network. We also want to ensure that there is exact same level of transparency like we strive for the validators delegation program. We want to make it extremely clear and transparent for who will be getting the delegation, why, and what do providers have to do to improve, to get additional delegation, higher amounts of delegation, or to get the delegation in the first place. Current ETA for this program is end of November. However, there is a caveat. Our team is very actively working on this program. We would like to roll this out at a similar time as validators delegation program. So potentially there is a chance that we will actually do it not at the very end of this November, but if we can do it much earlier, of course, we will also let you know about that. But currently, we aim to have it all finalized and finished and rolled out by the end of November. Now, let me dive into all of the details. There are quite a lot of things for you to understand about this program. So first and foremost, this RPC node provider delegation will have 40 million Lava tokens that will be delegated to the best performing RPC node providers. This program is open to every single active RPC node provider. And the principle will be fairly similar in a way that we are going to monitor the performance of all RPC node providers. I will cover the metrics, what kind of things we are going to look into to determine that. And we are going to delegate to the best performing providers and review the delegations and the performance of providers periodically. Currently, we are planning to do that on monthly basis, which means that the 40 million Lava token bucket might be redelegated to different providers depending on their performance on monthly basis. So, okay, I wanted to be here now. So there are core pillars for this delegation. The reason for that is because there are quite a lot of different aspects for what it actually takes to be good and high-performing RPC node provider. So we wanted to make sure that we take into consideration as many of those aspects as possible when rolling out this program. And therefore, this delegation program will have core 4 distinct categories, and all of them will be evaluated individually. And every single provider that is currently active on Lava and maybe will join in the future, they will be able to qualify to each of these categories individually. Those 4 categories are quality of service with a set of metrics that will be calculated and monitored to understand the quality of service. And this delegation category will have the bucket of 25 million Lava. Another one is archival node support with 5 million Lava overall delegation. Geographic distribution, 5 million Lava. And spec diversity, which corresponds to how many different specifications a provider supports, with 5 million Lava overall delegation pool. Each of these categories have more details, so I will walk you through all of them right now. But just to also re-emphasize that the overall delegation for every single individual RPC provider will be a sum of these core pillars. So you might get some delegation for extremely good overall quality of service. You might get some delegation because you are running archival node and your archival node is performing really well. You might get some delegation because you are supporting some very crucial geographical locations and things like that. So I want to now cover all of these details and categories in more detail so that you understand what do they mean. So the first category is quality of service. And quality of service is at the core of this entire program, because once again, we really want to emphasize the importance of good quality of service across the entire network. So the quality of service will be measured with scores that will be calculated from 4 critical metrics: latency score, availability score, sync score, and node error rate. If you are running RPC node providers today, you are probably well familiar with these metrics because they are exactly the same ones as Lava protocol measures when it comes to evaluating the provider performance and ranks and everything there. So we are going to keep exactly the same metrics, and we are going to track them and measure them constantly. And every single provider will be evaluated for their overall quality of service, meaning that we will look at every single chain, every single specification that individual provider supports, and then based on their performance metrics, we will derive the overall quality of service score. Based on that, 20 best performing providers will be eligible for the delegation from the 25 million Lava delegation bucket for this specific category. There is an example of how the distribution will look like, starting with the best performing provider at a time with almost 2.38 million Lava, and the provider in the place number 20 with 0.12 million Lava. Same thing applies here, that these amounts will be redistributed periodically to providers who maybe provide better quality of service than the others. So the ranks and the scores, they will be constantly updated based on the actual performance of the provider. Another important part of this delegation will be for archival support, because archive nodes, first of all, they are very important for the network because they allow dApps and any other data consumer to get access to the historical data. We do know that running archival nodes is much, much more complicated than running regular nodes. It costs more, and we want to make sure that providers feel incentivized to support these nodes. So the 5 million Lava tokens will be delegated to providers that meet the eligibility criteria for this part of the delegation program. And the criteria is very simple. We are going to look into providers who are supporting the archival nodes for each specification. And to be eligible for delegation from this program, part of the program, it's very important that the specification with archival support maintains the quality of service over 0.75. This number and the score is the derived score that we are going to calculate from the performance metrics that I mentioned previously, including the latency, error rate, availability, and sync. Calculations and everything else about these scores will be available to you, so you will be able to see all of the details as well. So the core thing to take from here, if you do run the archival node and you maintain a very high quality of service or meet the criteria for the threshold, you will be able to get some delegation from this program. Next is geographical distribution delegation. Some of the regions that are supported on Lava are strategically important because, for example, sometimes some of the users that use Lava RPC have a user base that is based in a specific geographical region and so on. So we do have a list of strategic regions that is important for specific chains. We are going to share that with all of you ahead of time so that you know what matters at that specific time frame. And here, very similar, 5 million Lava tokens will be delegated to providers who will meet the eligibility criteria. And that criteria is very similar and follows the same approach as the archival nodes. We are going to check which providers for which specifications are supporting those strategic regions. And if the provider for that specific specification and that specific strategic region maintains the quality of service score of over 0.75, you will be eligible for the delegation from that 5 million Lava delegation pool. And last but not least is the spec diversity delegation. One thing that we are very well aware is that supporting multiple specifications does require more resources from providers, but overall, supporting diverse blockchains is very important for strengthening the Lava network's value proposition, and it's very important for the growth of the Lava network. So we want to also incentivize that and delegate to providers who support different and more than one specification, for example. And the 5 million Lava tokens will be delegated to providers who meet the eligibility criteria, which looks as follows. So the core thing is just to support specifications. Even if you support one, you will likely get some delegation from this pool, as long as the supported specification maintains quality of service above 0.75. But you can also think about the fact that if you support, let's say, 10 specifications or more, your eligibility grows as well, as long as you maintain the high quality of service for these specs. So yeah, those are the core 4 parts of the delegation program. Once again, I mentioned that so many times now, but the quality of service is at the heart of this delegation program, and it's really working like the gateway to the delegation. And we want to make sure that we grow the network and incentivize Lava RPC node providers to participate in the network by also ensuring and striving for the best quality of service out there. So just to recap, overall quality of service score will be calculated by looking at every single specification that each provider supports, and then based on that, providers, top 20 providers will be eligible for the quality of service delegation, which has 25 million Lava token pool. And then we are going to also add additional sub programs there, which I mentioned, for archival support, geographical region support, spec diversity delegations, and things like that, which will have these additional requirements that I have mentioned for either supporting the archival node or supporting specific strategic geographical region, and so on. And another very important thing here, to make sure that those chains that you support, they also not only meet that criteria, but also maintain the quality of service threshold that we set. Now, these thresholds and everything else that is related to this program as well is something that I think will evolve over time. We want to make sure that everything is transparent, that you can understand how the scores are calculated, how the metrics are evaluated, and everything else, and how and why specific providers get the delegation, and what you can do to improve your delegation as well. So all of these details, they will be publicly available. And also, very important thing is that we want to make sure that details about, for example, what strategic regions will be important for the Lava network growth and other details will be shared with you with advance notice, so you can also then make improvements on your service according to that. And as I have mentioned already, the details of all of this program will be evolving over time. We do welcome feedback and input, especially after we roll out this program. We would really like to do the iterations and ensure that it champions the best performance of the providers, and that it really helps the Lava network and the Lava ecosystem to grow. So there was a lot of information and a lot of speaking from me. So I know that it's quite a lot to take in. As I have mentioned, more details for both of these programs, Validators Delegation Program and Providers Delegation Program, are going to be shared with you. We will share it on the blog. We will reach out to you individually to share the details as well. So we want to make sure that everything is clear and that you can understand all of the details. You can also always send me messages and questions if you would like to know more about the delegation program or anything else that is related to anything that applies to the Lava network. And I saw that there were quite a few comments and questions about stake and performance, and it is very fair assumption, because how the Lava pairing mechanism and how Lava protocol is implemented right now is that when you do have more stake, you technically get more traffic and so on. But as I have mentioned earlier in the tech updates, our team is also making changes there. So going forward, the amount of traffic that you will get and things like that will very highly depend on your actual performance, like latency, sync, availability of your node, and things like that. So all of these things together, we believe and we hope, will significantly contribute to the growth of the Lava network, and also ensuring that Lava is the best RPC provider out there. And I see another question. From Live Raven, hello. Is there a list of those strategic regions along with the amounts of load coming from each of them? So these details will definitely be shared specifically for which regions are important for which specification. I believe we should be able to also get some details and insight about the traffic load for each of them as well. I think most likely we will start with having a list of geographical regions as they are defined in Lava protocol as of now. So Europe, Asia, US, East, Central, West, and others. But I think as the program evolves, we will also work hard on being as precise with the details as we can. And another comment from, I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing the name incorrectly, Michiugan, who said that he would like to become a Lava provider. Amazing news. We always welcome new Lava RPC node providers to join the network. So the best place to get started is to check out the Lava documentation, and you will find all of the guides that are necessary to set up as the RPC node provider. You can choose what chain you would like to support. Currently, Lava supports over 28 chains. And whenever you choose which chain you would like to support, check out the guides, and you will be able to get started. And if you have any difficulties getting started, same thing, make sure to join the Discord or the Telegram for the Lava ecosystem, and we will definitely help you out to get started and get set up as a Lava RPC node provider. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. Just look up Justina on both of these platforms, and you will find me there. All right. I think we have reached the end of the session. It's been a lot. I know there is a lot of information. So we will follow up with more details about everything. I am beyond excited about these programs to go out. I think they will definitely have very big, significant impact on the network growth and sustainability, and pushing for the great quality of service across the board, including validators and RPC node providers. So thank you so much for joining. I will see you definitely in a month for the next Lava RPC provider town hall. But in the meantime, it's very likely that we will meet again, or I will talk to you on Telegram or Discord, because we have so many updates coming your way in the next few weeks that you will definitely hear from me and the rest of the Lava Foundation team quite often and quite a lot. So if you have more questions, drop them in the Discord or Telegram. We will get back to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the entire hour. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next event.